Hello, fellow Sagittarius friends. I'm Annie Botticelli, and welcome to my Sagittarius December 2024 Astrology Horoscope Forecast. I'm very excited to report that the theme for this month is Radical Financial Reset. I'm a Sag along with you, so I'm excited to talk about all the ways we have a chance for a new way of being in this sector of our lives. But of course, it's also Sagittarius time, so we've got a ton of energy in our own sign, including Mercury retrograde, and there's a lot to talk about there. We've got birthdays and so much more. So let's just take this piece by piece. This is for you. Sagittarius is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other Sagittarius placement you're listening for. What we're going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. If you're a very late degree Sagittarius friend, so birthdays like December 15th through the rest of the sign, or Sag degrees 23 degrees through the rest of the sign, I suggest you additionally listen to my Capricorn report, as your very late degree friends will benefit from both readings. Okay, so I'll put the, for podcast friends, I'll put the thumbnail picture as the chart in case you want to have a peek at it and you know what you're looking at. If you want more instruction, like with the visuals, you can go to my YouTube channel, Annie Botticelli. If you don't like the visuals, then you can listen to the syndicated podcast. Also, first, I want to apologize for any large machinery sounds. Our area is still cleaning up from a series of hurricanes, terrible hurricanes, and everything is being rebuilt around me. So I tried to find time to record when there weren't machines going, but unfortunately everybody is using them, which I'm glad about, because I'm glad, that everybody is rebuilding, but it's a little loud. So hopefully my microphone, will keep things focused here and that we can still concentrate. Okay, so I'm going to be focusing on the bottom left quadrant of this chart for the predominance of the things we're going to talk about. I'm also going to give you important dates to note, and I'll pop out into some other key things like Mars retrograde and some other things going on. So as excited as I am, and I want to skip right to the financial reset, I'm going to start with the Sagittarius energies, because a lot of these are going to be shifting, or some of this is going to be shifting into Capricorn, and there's sort of an evolution of this energy. But the Capricorn energy that is in our second house of finances is here all month. But there's a little bit of a Sagittarius story to tell before we get here. And this is our Sag time. We don't want to, gloss over this. So the sun is moving through Sagittarius. We have the new moon on December 1st, and we have Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius. Mercury's retrograde all month, pretty much, if you consider the post-shadow transit period. Actually, I'll just give you those dates now. November 8th was the pre-shadow transit. November 25th was the first day, the official retrograde. We have a shift in direction for Mercury. It will go direct December 14th and will stay into post-shadow transit until January 3rd. Okay, so now that you know what we're working with, this month is entirely covered in Mercury retrograde, also Mars retrograde, which we'll get to. But the Mercury retrograde is in Sagittarius. Okay, so that means all of this energy is in our energy. And for many of us, including myself, it's birthday time. So if the sun is in Sagittarius, you either had your birthday in November, so happy birthday to you all, or it will be your birthday now. Happy birthday to my fellow Saggy friends. Make sure to make your birthday wishes. And if the Sagittarius placement you have is not the sun, remember you can still make intentions. When the sun is moving over your placement, it activates your will, your intention, your wherewithal, your reclamation process. So nobody's being left out of it, but wishes are, more effective. That surrender that we make when we ask for something to be brought to us can be more effective at our birthday time, because the universe is very receptive to those wishes. So lots of chances for teaching and learning and education and exploration, adventuring. Anything having to do with travel or different languages is going to be flaring up, or armchair warrior types of things. We could have an adventure in a book, or we can have an adventure in a plane. However it will work out, the spirit of adventure is alive at this time, and it's very exciting. The chance for creative solutions, the chance for optimism, the chance for buoyancy has not only been this month, but we also had a full month of November with that energy, because our Sag transit started early. Venus had been in Sagittarius in November, and it started out this very long Sagittarius party. So we're still in that celebration, gregariousness, connecting with other people. Important thing to note here is that as much as we will be connecting with other people, it's very hard to make plans. So the more you can tell people, maybe I can make it, I'll try to make it rather than a firm confirmation, the happier you'll be when things start to interfere with the plans that you make. And the more of a chance for last minute magic. If you say, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it, but leave me open as a possibility, then it could be at the last minute that you can actually get there. There's a lot of last minute magic with retrogrades, but scheduling can be pretty tough. So whenever the first house is crowded, this makes it a time of reinvention, and birthday time is a time of rebirth and reinvention. And we have not only the sun, but also Mercury here aiding our process of reevaluating our lives so that we can make our lives the best as possible and make our wishes and make our intention setting the most powerful possible. We've got a nice kickoff right at the beginning of the month, December 1st, with the new moon in Sagittarius. So this is a fresh start. This is, we usually get one new moon a year, except, one sign will get a second new moon. Sometimes it'll be a black moon, which we do have one of those, but that will be in Capricorn. But in any case, this is a time for new beginnings. It's a fresh start, a personal reinvention. This first house is about your personal individuation. And, all of this is setting you up for this cosmic reset where your self-expression, your notoriety, how people know you, how people see you, your physical body, your health is, your look, everything has a chance to be refreshed. Even here in retrograde, you can go back to a look that you've had before. You can bust out the 80s pink nail polish or whatever, or your bangs if you have to, or whatever, goes back. Because there is this tilt to the past. There is just the caution with the retrogrades to try to not do something too radical that isn't easy to fix, because if you don't like it, and the retrogrades reveal that as they go on, it'll be harder to fix. And sometimes long-term decisions are not the best ones to make in the retrograde. So the Sagittarian energy is very much about optimism. It's very much about big picture vision and dreams, but we can't really see or work that far into the future. And things are really focused on the here and now and what is in front of us. Mars retrograde and Mercury retrograde is telling us that this is a time to focus on the squeaky wheels that are in front of us and not trying to conjure or go too far and wide, because remember, as I always say, the tides are going in. Doubly true with Mars and Mercury in retrograde. So you're here on the shore. If you try to put things out on the tides, they'll just bounce right back to you. And that could be perfect for a short-term promotion, for an experiment, for, a one-time adventure. But if you're trying to get something far and wide, those tides are going to bring it back. So this is a time really to work closer to your being, shorter term projects, experimental projects, editing, going back over old things. And there can be a lot of new things too, but just don't expect a super long shelf life on most of those new things. Of course, there are always exceptions, but for the most part, new things that come in during the retrograde tend to not be as working out the way we think or as long-term as we intend. Mercury retrograde can definitely bring delays and miscommunications. Mars retrograde can make us more lazy and can make other people more lazy and have us be less ambitious. But that ambition that we take from other places, and also Jupiter's retrograde. So our big term visions, you might not recognize yourself when Jupiter's in retrograde, because you're like, where is that person that was interested in everything and doing everything and, trying to make all these things happen? And in September, Jupiter went retrograde, and now we have all these other retrogrades. So you might not recognize yourself. You're like, who is this person who is so disinterested in a lot of stuff? And that could be why. But what can be birthed from this is like a monofocus on something. And because Leo rules the Sagittarius ninth house for Sagittarius, you might get crazy focused on Sagittarian things, which is only highlighted by the Sagittarius transits and the Mercury retrograde. So things having to do with study and research and publishing and writing and, international business and languages, you may find that you get really hot on those things. Like you pick them up from the past and you're like, charge forward with them. And that would be very good use of the energy. Mars retrograde, very important point. If you're trying to do something and it's not working, you will get frustrated. If it's something you don't really need to do and you let it go, you may be filled, that frustration can be replaced with the joy of finding the thing that is flowing and jumping on that train and riding it really far. In general, retrograde time is a time to reflect and reassess your personal goals and reassess what it is that you're trying to bring out and, coax out of yourself at this time. Mars in retrograde, you may be rethinking things internationally. You may be going back to places or reconsidering your relationships in those spaces. You may be renegotiating or going back to them. You may be reconsidering your big picture plans and reevaluating all of that. If you're writing, you may be editing. If you have ideas from the past, they may come front and center. It's not only you that may be getting lazy and unambitious, it's other people too. So you may find that other people are not showing up. Now, good news about Mars in Leo is that it does trine our placement. So at least this part of the retrograde, not the part where Mars is in Cancer, because that makes a different angle for us. But right now, Mars is in Leo, and that is much better for Sagittarius. So it could bring a lot of good stuff from the past. It can bring a lot of progress on focusing on things from the past, and you can clear up a lot of negative karma. You can clear up a lot of things that have piled up in your Leo ruled sectors, which are things involving your kids. You can heal and resolve a lot of things for your kids, or if you're trying to have children, fertility, romance, your bucket list. All of these things can get some good attention and some really good healing. Okay, there are some other dates that I want to give you, but before I get there, I want to just go on to this radical financial reset, and then we can get back to that. So the Sun, Pallas Athena, Venus, and Ceres, and a new moon on the 30th, the days are on the 30th of December, are all clustered in our house of finances. Our individual money, our income, our financial resiliency and IQ and experience is all getting this influx of massive amount of energy. The Sun is there. It's representing vitality and clarity and leadership. It's showing you where you shine financially and where you still have things that need to be worked on. Like a bright light in a dark room, you see the peeling paint, not just how beautiful the light accentuates the colors of the room, right? So the light, the sun, will show these beautiful things in their brightness, but they'll also show the cobwebs and the dust. So you may see or get some really good insight into what needs to be adjusted for you to jump up to your next financial experience. You can have more clarity and more determination, and maybe some of this hyper focus, and maybe education has to do with it. Maybe you'll decide that for your next, for your financial reset, you need to learn something, you need to get educated, or maybe it's time for you to teach. So setting clear financial goals is a really good thing to do at this time, and being focused on allowing in this greater sense of purpose and confidence when it comes to building wealth. Wealth is a mindset. And this is something that I kind of sprinkle in, but I've been doing manifestation work and teaching about manifestation for well over 20 years. And it really is mindset. You access the magic of the universe by clearing up the things that are interfering with your mindset. And so maybe this is a time for you to get educated about how your mindset is affecting your wealth. You might be getting serious about how you earn and spend and save. And this energy in Capricorn is very serious. It's not like Sagittarius, which is very fun and frolicsome. So Saturn rules Capricorn, and all of this energy in Capricorn is not only making us get more serious about certain things in our lives, get really ready to wrap up this past year and make the next year the best possible year in all regards, but also very specifically with a strategy. Pallas Athena is very much related to strategy. So getting a financial strategy together, and hopefully it will involve inner work on your wealth consciousness, because this is really important. I actually have a free course. If you go to LumeLife, LumeLife.com, and you scroll down to see all courses, I have a course called Unleash Your Money Magnet. And I talk more about the mindset and the inner work. And I also give you some other tools there to help with this. But, this is a time where all of this seriousness, is focused here, where you're like, you know what, I am really going to fix this now. So one of, a really good tip for the energy of the sun being there is to set these specific financial goals. Create a detailed budget, create a savings plan, create an investment plan, create a long-term financial stability plan. Be mindful of where your money is going. Redirect it towards things that, are supporting your highest value. And I have said it before, I will continue to say it. I've been in the investment arena for a long time. My dad taught me how to read the Wall Street Journal when I was like 8 years old, and taught me how to invest in stocks. And I started investing in stocks with chore money when I was probably around 9. So I've been kind of in the stock game for kind of a strangely long time for my age. And, I get all of these different ideas for investment. And something that I have seen and I will stand by is the greatest investment that you can make is in your capacity to earn money, because you are the only variable that you can control. You can't control the markets, can't control whether the stocks go up and down, can't control, unless you have so much wealth that you can force them. But I think that's kind of illegal, right? So we're not doing that. But you can't control those things. But what you can work on is your personal magnetism to your financial story being the best possible, and your capacity to earn money and your confidence to be able to do that. So you may see that at this time and really, focus on investing in your greatest resource, which is yourself and your capacity to earn money. Okay, so Venus here brings the energy of love and beauty and money and opportunity, self-worth, financial abundance, can increase your income, can just give you a boost of money. With the retrograde, money that was coming in from the past, can come to you from the past, work that you did or money that was owed to you. You can have ways to enhance your financial experience. And this is a time where you're really focusing on increasing your value in the marketplace by refining these skills, by getting your CV updated, by figuring out things that you can invest in that will pay off in the long run as far as your capability to earn. And a lot of that comes from your confidence. I've definitely seen, I've had my own business for a long time, but prior to that, I went to job interviews, I've gotten jobs, and I've seen that if you believe that you should have that job, and it increases the odds that you're going to get it if you feel sure about it. So whatever you have to do to build that confidence that you are the best for a position that you're trying for, then that's what this is all about. So you're affirming your self-worth. We also have Pallas Athena here. She's very much about strategy, as I mentioned. She's about creative intelligence and wisdom, and she can definitely give you precision and insight with strategic thinking, and Capricorn energy is very much about strategy too. So that's a match there. So you definitely want to add strategy to like everything that you do with your finances. If you're able to spot the problems or the waste or the inefficiencies, and you may need help through an app or through somebody else, a professional, to do this. Diversification is also a topic that can come up. Sagittarius is the great diversifier. Capricorn takes that, takes whatever you're trying to do and like goes into it full bore. So this can put a plan behind your diversification plan. And we always say in the investment world, right, you don't want to keep all of your eggs in one basket from a financial perspective. Okay, so we've got Ceres here also. We don't talk about Ceres a lot. That question mark shape that is there, that's actually, it's a sickle. That thing they use to cut wheat. Okay, so she actually rules the second house, which is the crop, which is, the abundance. It also represents the energy of nurturance and sustainability. And so she is helping you look for lasting financial security in a sustainable way, because sometimes the way we make money is not sustainable. And big secret for manifestation here, I'm just going to drop the bomb on you right now if you don't already know, is that thinking in a linear way is the downfall of wealth, because the wealthiest people don't think in a linear way. Linear means you work more hours, you get more money. Well, that seems logical, right? But people who create wealth are not thinking like that. They're working fewer hours and creating more money. So whatever you got to do to get your brain around that whole deal, the book, The 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferriss, could be something that could just blow your mind wide open to this whole story. But either way, this is about nurturance. This is about sustainability, and sustainability with your spending and usage, sustainability with your earning and what you have to do to get it. Okay, so in general, I just want to give you like a little summary of, I still have more to talk about beyond this because we have other dates and we have other aspects that I want to cover. But before we leave this radical financial reset possibility, I want to give you a little summary of how you can coax these outcomes out from the universe for this radical financial reset. Okay, so the first thing we talked about is setting those clear financial intentions. Next is practicing financial discipline. Another one is to seek these financial opportunities. When you let your reticular activating system, which is the filter in your mind, know that you're seeking these things out. How I started my first very successful business was I kept affirming to myself, because I was studying mindset at that time. I realized, kind of early, if somebody has something that I want, I should study what they know. This way I can have that too. And so I started studying what people knew who had money, who had time, and who, were out of the linear way of thinking. And when you start that process of studying, well, at least I discovered, and you will discover if you go down that path, that affirmations and speaking, speaking to the universe, speaking to other people, your intention to do something is actually making your reticular activating system stop filtering out opportunities that would help you meet those goals. So I have a million stories about how I've seen this work for myself, but this is not just metaphysical. This is psychological. This is physiological. Okay, so getting strategic, nurturing your financial health, reevaluating your relationship with money, going back to old things that worked, resolving sort of weak spots, and aligning your finances with your values. What is the point of money if not to enjoy your life and spend time with your loved ones? So just kind of getting all of that in order to build this meaningful and lasting prosperity. Okay, so we have other things to talk about too. The days around December 15th, there's a full moon at 24 degrees of Gemini. Fullness, completion, fruition, drama coming to writing or mobile devices or mobility or vehicles, also communication or communication projects. That's for everyone in the zodiac, but specifically for Saggies, this is in your house of relationships. So something comes out at that time. Something is revealed. Something is manifested. Something, for better or worse, comes to light. It could be an argument with, somebody, or it could be something magical that you've been working on, manifesting, and you do it and you're experiencing it together. All Saggies will feel these potentials, but you may feel this more intensely if your birthday is around where mine is, December 16th. So 24 degrees, we'll say 19 degrees through 29 degrees. That's going to be around December 11th through the end of the sign, and the closer you are to around the 16th there, the more you'll get the opposition from this. That doesn't have to be a bad thing. It often turns out to be a busy thing where you like your me versus we sector is very much accentuated. But everyone has the positive potentials there, and everyone has the challenging potentials as well. I don't remember if I gave you the dates for Mars retrograde, but the pre-shadow transit started October 7th. The actual retrograde starts on December 6th. Goes through February 24th, 2025, and then the post-shadow transit will go to May. So we're deeper into this now, even though we were, because it's officially going retrograde this month. It's definitely a time to be guided by the energy flow. Got a little recap of the moon dates here. Remember, if you like dates, I still have a couple more things I want to tell you, but I just want to remind you now, if you like the dates in your visual and you like to see them all in one place, go to AnnieHelpsYou.com. Put your name and email address in, click receive. In the welcome letter, there will be an archive link. When you go there, put December 2024 astrology into that link. I always send these out at least a month early, my write-up of the month ahead, just so you have it for your planning purposes. So I do go over all the sweet and salty dates, my favorite aspects, the ones to be most awareful and careful of. Okay, so now along those lines, I'm going to give you two more dates. One is, let's give you the one I don't like as much first, even though it's not in the same order chronologically. Okay, so in the days around December 24th, but really, I hate to say it, all month, Jupiter and Saturn are clashing. When outer planets get together in proximity in an angle, this usually is in effect for a while because they move slowly. So in August and September, this was exact and very strong. Now it will be exact again. It's officially exact on the days around the 24th, but the whole month it will be just a couple of degrees out of this. So we'll really be feeling it. This is about the push, expansion of our ruler, Sagittarius, with the halt, sternness, blocks of Saturn, and how those energies can affect each other. I always like to look at the Sagittarian optimist, right? So from the good perspective, hey, maybe you're The things you want to expand just need to be discerned and streamlined, and Saturn can help. Maybe things aren't flowing because you need to narrow down your focus, straight and simple. And Jupiter can also act on Saturn. Saturn is stodgy and stern and disciplined, and Jupiter might be saying, hey, lighten up on some of those things that you're being too hard on yourself about in order to get through, to get to your next level here. So they're acting on each other. And even though this is a square, this can be super positive because a square can help us crack out of a matrix. And if you're stuck in an experience, a pattern of experience, you need these powerful squares to just crack everything open. And that's what can happen at this time. But, there will be this push and pull. There will be this wanting to flow, but feeling stymied. There will be this maybe confusion as to what to narrow in on. There could be this overwhelm from doing too much, and now you're having to dial things back. So you may see that for a while. In the days around the 19th, I'm leaving off on a really positive note because that is fun to do. Venus, which starts out in Capricorn, will get into Aquarius in the 3rd house for Saggies. And then, gosh, it's kind of messy here. I'm just going to erase this so you can see this better. Then it will form a trine, the most favorable aspect in all of astrology with Jupiter, our ruler. Even though he's sleepy and in retrograde, still our ruler. He's still doing good work in the backdrop. He has not forsaken us. So Venus here in the 3rd house, making a beautiful trine with Jupiter, the two benefics, the sweet, most laid back, sweetest, most laid back planets in many ways. Love, beauty, money, relationships, expansion, growth, love, all coming together in a nice angle. So the best angle in astrology. Since Jupiter is in retrograde and we have all this other retrograde energy, there could be blessings from the past. Writing projects, mobility, maybe a relative gives you a vehicle, something like that, something having to do with travel. Relationships are very much highlighted. Writing is highlighted. The 3rd house is ruled by Gemini. Jupiter's in Gemini. So social connections, friendships, neighbors, things like that. You may see a nice blessing in the days around the 19th. And if you have to do something important, remember, we're not shooting for long-term big launches or anything, but you need a promo, you want to do something special. The dates around the 19th can have, this extra boost. Overall, as you can see, this month, our month, December, is a chance for a radical financial reset. We've got beautiful moons, including that black moon in the days around the 30th. I don't know if I mentioned that was a black moon, but it's the 2nd new moon in a sign or calendar month. For the Eastern time zone and East, that is a black moon for us. The earlier time zones, it wouldn't be because the new moon in Sag was on the 30th for you all. But in any case, black moons help us to dig deeper with our seed planting, to have more of a robust chance for the intentions to bloom. So I'm very excited about these potentials this month, and I hope that you are too. Okay, so if you have resonated with my work, then please click like and subscribe and click the bell. I've heard that if you don't click the bell, my posts won't go into your feed, but that's what you can do to help YouTube know that you resonate with my work. And you can also enable notifications, and all of those things will help guarantee that you won't miss anything from me. If you love the dates, sweet and salty dates, things to be awareful and careful of, the awesome aspects, definitely go to anniehelpsyou.com, put your name and email address, and click receive to get my very informative weekly newsletter. You get so many free things. Most of my work in the world is free. You get even more free stuff as a member of my free VIP community, which is what you become when you put your name and email address in there. When you click receive, you will get the welcome letter delivered into your inbox. It could be in spam. You'll have to move it into your inbox. Click on the archive link there, and then put in the search December 2024 astrology. And that's where you will find the sweet and salty dates. I always email that out a month early to my VIP friends so that you can prepare and know the dates ahead of time and know what you're getting yourself into. And if you're a visual learner, you could see all the dates there and have everything in a written format. So at anniehelpsyou.com, you can unleash by joining my free VIP community. You can upgrade by accessing my secret star portal. This gets the earliest possible access to all of my work. You do get the horoscopes and other posts early in my free VIP community too, and then you get them extra early in the secret star portal. You also get written horoscopes monthly for each sign and so much more when you upgrade there. And if you want to learn astrology, then you can click on Up Level and see my options. You can start with the basics, or you can dive deep into my Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery Certification course. If you think I put a lot into my free work, you should see what I put into this course. It has well over 100 modules and growing, and it can take you from beginner to earning money in a very short amount of time if you apply what I teach you that way. And for people who have already been well versed with astrology, if you can't seem to tie it all together because you know so much and you don't know where to go in the chart to give a concise, effective reading every time, that is my specialty. Plus, if you're trying to monetize your love of astrology, that is my area of expertise. So you can click on Up Level when you're there at anniehelpsyou.com. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.